Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Many a True Nerd, and welcome back to Rome Total War. Last time, after a couple of minor skirmishes, including having to fight a band of elephants from the gates of Croton, that was a rather unusual one, we were able to not quite take Thessalonica, but we broke the army that was guarding it in a very tough battle. Indeed, I haven't really looked at kind of what the state of the army is yet, but it's not great, is it? Yeah, we took a fair bit of damage doing that, unfortunately. Quite a bit of damage indeed, particularly to our front line, the poor old Hastati. But that's fine, because if I just position myself carefully now, if I just head down here, then over to here, and then besiege this city right here. One, we can attack it immediately, because I've got Ballista, and also, I'm going to do that now just to see what they've actually got left. So they've got, a faction, oh dear. They've got less than I anticipated. When I looked in the city, I just saw the 80, so I was like, okay, so they've got some units that are like half strength. No, they've also got one Illyrian mercenary, they've got 37 peltas, 3 militia hoplites, not exactly a phalanx there, to be honest, some basic cavalry that's very, very badly defended indeed. They've got this guy, they've got their faction leader, we've got, this is going to be the, what, fourth or fifth? I think fourth faction leader of the Greeks that we have killed, which is marvellous. And he's another good one. They've got some really good family members. My family is terrible by comparison. So what can we do to get these guys a little bit better shape? Probably what I ought to do is merge them to... Oh, sorry, I shouldn't have merged them. Sadly, I just lost the unit of Hastati. That's a shame. Never mind. Doesn't really matter, to be honest. So now we've got 3 strong units of Hastati. We've got the hoplites who did very well for me in that fight. Any good mercenaries to go? We've got the Thracian mercenaries. Sure, I'll take them. They seem pretty decent. We've also got the... I could send some reinforcements in. I could send some more... I don't feel like I really need to be honest, but... what would be good at taking out the faction? That's the only thing that's just got some decent cavalry. So anything that I've got that works well against cavalry would be welcome. Yeah, we've got those hoplites there. We could just send a little bit more indirect fire as well. Send both of those guys up. Beautiful. Oh, apparently there's not even room. Alright, fine, whatever. In which case we can probably do without the hoplites. Fine, I didn't realise this was actually technically a full stack. I'd forgotten that because it looks so, like, not full. But apparently that is basically a full stack army. So, Thessalonica we can certainly take at our convenience, but before we do that, well actually, up here, the Greeks have just magicked a general from nothing, which normally means he's just been awarded to the Greeks for no reason, because the Greeks didn't have enough generals, so they've just been given one. So as a result of that, I feel like actually, our extremely skilled assassin, now he's actually pretty good. Oh yeah, 65% chance, I'm liking this. In you go, my good man. Sneaky, sneaky, sneak. Bat him around the back of the head. Sadly, you don't see, like, how they get assassinated. Medieval 2 gave you actually, like, little, like, video clips of the assassination attempt in progress, and whether it... and it had, like, you know, comical fail conditions and stuff, which was quite good. And down he goes. Beautiful. Though, sadly, I do not actually get myself an increase of rank for that. Obviously, you know, it's slower to level up over time. But as time goes on, obviously, you know, now, these basic diplomats, I can start killing, like, pretty much as I wish, which is kind of nice, though. Eventually, where did that bloody Parthian go? I still don't know where it went, which is really, really sad. I kind of wanted to chat that Parthian. But, fortunately, I don't really need to anymore, because I have got over here a nice army of Pontus. So let's start off with trade rights with him. Yep, that's fine. Everyone always accepts trade rights. Now, map information for map information. I could probably, like, extort some money out of him, but I'm more curious to know what's going on here. Ah. Well, that's interesting. That's very interesting. I was actually expecting the forces of Pontus to be a little bit further forward, but we have got over here Antioch, which you can see used to belong to Seleucids, because it's got a Greek-style stone wall and a Greek-style shipwright. Now definitely belongs to the Egyptians. So, I don't know where the Seleucids are, but wherever they are, they're not doing so hot. They're in bad shape at the minute. Let's just keep this guy moving this direction, and we'll also keep this spy moving on as well. So, it would appear that, yeah, there's definitely... oh yeah, actually quite a lot of stuff that sadly used to belong to the Seleucids gone. So Tarsus used to be Seleucid, you can tell, because it's Greek style. So basically, if you see anything that's got Greek style, anything, you know, at some point the Seleucids must have owned this. The Seleucids, they start off with... they have Ephesus here. They don't get Ancyra because that's just a rebel. That, I think, yeah, they get this, because Ione goes all the way along here. Then they get into Cilicia, which is theirs. They get Tarsus. Then they've definitely got... they've got Egypt, yeah, they've got Antioch. Maybe they don't get this stuff from here. I'm trying to remember whether they actually... I think actually these cities maybe are Egyptian starting cities. Maybe they kind of go more in this direction. And, yeah, but they've already lost all it. I mean, like, if they'd been totally destroyed, we'd know about it, because the game would say. So we know the Seleucids are still out there somewhere. We just don't know exactly where. The fortresses of Pontus, however, are less big than I thought. Like, normally, like, Pontus tends to do really well. Pontus has this odd habit of, like, you know, taking over large parts of, like, Armenia, for example. Sometimes even, like, pushing against the Scythians, which is kind of cool. But I think, for the moment at least, yeah, it looks like they've just taken over a small area. We know that this is also, Cyprus also belongs to the Egyptians. The Egyptians have one hell of an empire, because they've taken some stuff off the Seleucids, and also they've got all of this down the Mediterranean. They've got the Egyptian heartlands, and as a result, they've got a lot of sea trade off, like, these 4 territories. So they're going to be very, very wealthy. So the Egyptians are, like, I consider, like, the Egyptians in some ways like the final boss. The Egyptians are often really, really difficult to crack. The Parthians are arguably harder to conquer because their armies of fast-moving horse archers just made them really hard to pin down. And often they're so far away, their cities aren't bloody worth it, to be honest. So, like, you know, the Parthians are more of an annoyance. But I consider, like, the Egyptians kind of the final boss. But, yeah, Antioch, when we get there, stone walls, full-stack Egyptian armies, that's gonna be entertaining. Yeah, that's going to be good. Right, let's start off by moving into Thessalonica. But I know Thessalonica is going to have, oh yeah, massive population. But if I could hold it, I could upgrade it straight away into a large city. And that's tempting, but it's going to be very hard to do, and I'd rather not have to garrison it that much. So I'm going to enslave it. So there's going to be like 6,000 odd slaves ready to come out of Thessalonica. Where would I like them to go? Well, we know one place we want them to go. Termon. I can basically get Termon up to the next level this turn, which is good. Larissa doesn't need it, so you can step outside of Larissa for the moment, my good man. Just step outside, please. Apollonia. Apollonia could do with it, but I bet you can't get over there. No, you can't get over there. You might be able to actually. Salona's got loads of stuff to do. If you can get down to Apollonia, actually, that would actually not be the worst thing in the world. So, no, not you. You get in there. Yes, you can. Right, Apollonia is manned. Perfect. By someone useless, but it's still manned. So that's fine. So now we've got 2 cities manned that we want to. You definitely don't need to do that. You drill master, an apparently loyal person who's probably not very good. Step outside for a second, please. Segesca doesn't have anyone in it. I think Tarentum still does. Yes, indeed it does. Vibius Brutus. The problem we've got to watch out for is all our best generals are like getting towards their 50s. They're going to start dying of natural causes at some point, and that means we really need to prioritise getting a new generation of decent people trained up. Step outside there, please. Which is actually why I've got a Spurious Scapula heading down, because he's actually competent. He's got some problems, like doubtful courage is unfortunate and loathes farmers is just a bit unfortunate too, but he's good enough that potentially if my next factioner is terrible, I might kind of rename this guy factioner and then he can actually be my faction leader at some point. Which is interesting because he's actually not part of our family. I believe we married him into the family, so that's good. It's nice to be welcoming and open to new outsiders. Now what have we got here? You're Scipii. You're the Gauls. Let's just check what the Julii are doing, by the way. They've got a whole bunch of armies bumming around. They don't really know what to do with them. So I'm just going to send my guy like more over here, ready to move after the Julii if they actually decide to attack something. But yeah, I don't really know why they're not taking Lugdunum or otherwise marching elsewhere against the Gauls. Like, the Gauls don't seem to have anything that can stand up to this army right here. So yeah, whatever's going on, I'm not sure what it is. Also, wait, hang on a second. How is Marseille? Wait, this is weird. Oh, maybe that's how it appears. I always thought Marseille appeared as... Yeah, I always thought Marseille appeared on the map as, like, a Greek-style settlement, i.e., like, square, not round. But they've taken it, and now it looks like it's gone barbarian. Which... maybe I don't know. That's really weird. And Michael Schumacher is holding on to that town very, very nicely. Well done, Michael Schumacher. And finally, Rhodes. Does Rhodes need more people? No, I think Rhodes is okay for now. We can do without Rhodes having more people, so you just step out of that for now. It's a shame, actually. I was going to try and maybe get this guy over to Halicarnassus, like, today, but the Pontus forces have beaten us to it. But never bet against these guys. To be perfectly honest, I would actually bet money that these guys could win, but the computer might award the victory to Pontus anyway. Because look at them. Basically, they've got Eastern Infantry. Eastern Infantry are terrible. They're not very good. They're very numerous. I think they've got, like, at this unit scale, 240 soldiers per unit. But they've got poor morale, so, like, they're not bad at, like, holding against cavalry. But other than that, they're pretty useless. But, like, just a force of a massive force of Eastern Spearmen shouldn't be able to break a town held by Cretan archers and Rhotian slingers. They should be torn apart because they'll all break really easily, but sadly the game might decide to award them victory anyway. Not necessarily, like I've come across Halicarnassus many times before, where like Halicarnassus has clearly been besieged and been fought off, so like the rebels can win. They are allowed to win. The game isn't just like auto grant the victory to another AI faction that's trying to attack rebels, but we'll see about that. Also, let's just move you round here. Ready to move in just in case we can actually move in and try and take out Halicarnassus immediately. But for the moment, Thessalonica, we need to take that. I think now everyone is out of the city that we want to, so only the city we want to will grow. In we go, please. This is actually one of those fights where, because there's like a fair few wall defences and it's proper stone walls, I might actually get a better result out of auto-resolving than I do by fighting it manually, but I want to fight it manually anyway because it's quite funny just to basically just walk through a town that's really, really badly defended. Oh, look at that. The Macedonian capital, Thessalonica itself, and oh wait! No! It's already a flipping large town. Oh, that's perfect. Okay, so in that case, there's no problem with me actually enslaving it because, like, it's already up to its level 4. Is this our first level 4 city? Also, hang on. Have you never built a temple here? No, this is where the awesome temple of something ought to be. It would appear, for whatever reason, they never built any form of religion here. That's weird. Also, don't remember seeing that, but yeah, at some point their city barracks was burnt down, which is beautiful. That's the assets that's left if you've actually destroyed something. Assassins can do that. They can destroy things, which is kind of cool. Other than that, there's not actually... Yeah, this is the spot, by the way, where either if you're Roman, the arena, or if you're Greek, like the theatre, goes, but that's not there either. They've got an archery range, which is nice. Yeah, this is a weirdly underdeveloped city for the capital. Now here's a fun fact, by the way, and I've never been sure whether this is actually like a bug or a glitch or anything, to be honest, which is if you tell Ballista to attack reinforced gates when it's actually like a city with proper stone walls, the Ballista doesn't go for the gates. It goes for the gatehouse, and only once the gatehouse, i.e. like the towers are destroyed, does it go for the gate. So that means very often a Ballista can't actually penetrate a town of level 3 upwards because it just doesn't pick the right target. It goes for a stupid one. So as a result, I need to see if my Ballista can knock down one section of wall, which I think it should be able to. I can't actually remember, so I need to check this now. This is going to be a fun experiment. Right, yes, sorry, I'd forgotten about that, and sadly, one unit of Ballista is not actually enough to penetrate. So actually, interestingly, there's literally no way for this army to penetrate this city, but if I'd auto-resolved, I would have won anyway. But yeah, even though technically there's no way for the army to breach the city, I would just have won anyway because the game auto-resolve is sometimes weird and confusing. So as a result of that, I'm actually going to back out. I dropped a quick save just in case, you know, I forget things or the game crashes or whatever. I dropped a quick save. So what we're going to do... Oh, and by the way, when bits fall off the wall, if they crush things, those things do die, which is kind of funny. But sadly, we can't actually make it through the wall. If I'd brought a second Ballista, we'd have been able to, but sadly, we cannot. So what I'm going to do instead, because now I've technically... The game auto-defeats me at this point, because it knows I now have no way to get into the city, though had I just auto-resolved it, I would have actually won automatically, which is really kind of weird, but whatever. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to restore the save, and I'm actually going to build some flipping siege equipment. My general rule, by the way, is like, if I lose a battle, I don't restart, I'm just going to accept it. But like, if I lose a battle because of something that's like a weird AI bug, then I think that's kind of fair for me to actually restore. So I don't really consider it my fault that the Ballista crews refuse to target the reinforced gates when I tell them to attack the reinforced gates. In all future Total Wars, they could, like in Medieval 2, the very next entry in the franchise, if you told them to go for the gates, not the gatehouse, they went for the gates, not the gatehouse. Not so in Rome Total War. Bug, I assume? It doesn't feel like a feature to me. Anyway, alright, fine. You know what? We'll just build a whole bunch of stuff and storm your flipping walls, why don't we? Which means, unfortunately, all of you now have to step back inside your territories for a bit. Don't worry, we'll get you back outside next turn. Oh, hello! Oh no! Right, this is actually kind of annoying. So the Macedonians have sent a force to try and stop Aulus Brutus. The problem is that as a result of that, now, if I now auto-take the city, everyone who I took out of the city is now back in the cities, so as a result the slaves won't actually be distributed where I want them to be. That's annoying, but never mind. Right, what have you actually got from me, by the way? I don't think you've actually got that much. Ah, you've just got a big army of pikemen to show up. Fine, well I can pick those guys apart. Well, I say I can pick those guys apart. I'm actually a little bit lacking in infantry here. Ooh. Yeah, I'm really lacking in, oh dear. I didn't realise quite how low on the infantry front I was, in fact. Right, this could actually be a little bit on the difficult side. The advantage I've got is the reinforcements basically have nothing aside from the heavy cavalry. If I can just knock out that heavy cavalry, they're basically done. Now, oh, ho ho ho, hello. Hello, sexy. Hello, sexy giant rock that possibly just turned this into a cakewalk. Yes, 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 yes. So, obviously, nothing can walk on the rock. And the rock also provides me with a massive high ground advantage. Oh, yes. Life suddenly just got a lot more fun than I thought it was about to. Plus, I've got a little bit more than I was expecting here. Hang on, can I draw up? I can draw up like... Yeah, if I drop about here, then they have to run uphill at me. That's nice. Right, just a little bit stretched out, because I want these guys to be not on the high ground, because I want the high ground, the true high ground, to belong to the archers. So you guys are just going to be stretched along here. Ideally, I'd like you to be a little bit thinner, actually, because then, there we go. Then you can all be on the high ground. That's what I want to see. Let's just lay these guys out really long and thin. Fire at will, and you guys guarding the flank over here, also at fire at will. Take the damage, guys. They're not going to be much use to anyone, so they can just go at the back. That's fine. The general, but what about the ballista? Can the ballista go up top here? Come on, tell me the ballista can go up top here. Oh, yes. That is a beautiful, beautiful spot for the ballista. Right there. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to have you guys there, and when they start getting a bit closer, we will simply just reposition the ballista. But they are pretty much entirely phalanxes. Oh, ballista on the high ground. Yes, and then we just move these guys to here to block when the ballista starts coming under attack if there's any threat. Oh, this is just gorgeous. This is sexy. Right, okay. Prepare the dogs. If they charge, we release the dogs. That'll chase them straight back down the hill again. Sadly, the handlers did die a bit, so we've got far fewer handlers than we used to, which is a shame. Thracian mercenaries, we're just going to have you guarding the low ground. I don't really want you guys involved in most of the fighting, so you guys are just going to go there. You're just going to hide, and potentially, actually, if I'm maybe just a little bit more shallow, because if need be, I can have them go around the outside and slam into the side of something, which is kind of cool. Oh, and some beautifully, we've then just got some Illyrians who can have like a bit of high ground. They can be over sort of here-ish. Yeah, this is a nice position for them. And then like when we need to, we can just have them run back. Unless you're in the way of the... No, that shouldn't be in the line of fire of those guys. But if we just have them, yeah, about there's fine. Right, that's just beautiful. This is going to be a thing of fun and hilarity because my archers now have the high ground. And there's flipping Thessalonica in the background. Lovely.
The enemy have
So in they come. Is everyone on fire at will, by the way? Yeah, everyone's on fire at will. Lovely. In come the reinforcements. Okay, the reinforcements are from that direction, which makes sense because you can literally see they're coming from the city. How wonderful is Rome Total War? Right, so they're going to come up. Are you at fire? Yeah, you're at fire at will, which is nice. So very soon, those guys are going to come under fire from ballistas, which is hilarious. Yeah, ballistas on the high ground. That's just a thing of gorgeousness. Let's just kind of get the Macedonian view of this, by the way. Yeah, good luck. Good luck moving up the hill, you stupid bastards. There we are. They're already in range because even though you can see that their range is only supposed to be here, because of the vertical advantage, they go into... they actually get a lot more damage a lot sooner. So as a result, these guys are going to take a load. Oh, yeah. Phalanx pikemen starting to flipping melt over here. This is good. Melting. Oh, the Illyrians are already in range. The Illyrians are already in flipping range. You know what, guys? I don't care. You don't get to run back anymore. I'm turning you off skirmish mode just so you actually basically keep tossing us for as long as possible. This is perfect. The Hastati are also going to start throwing. These guys are going to have lost the majority of their strength before any of this even happens. The Light Lancers are going to hit these guys. I don't even care because they're going to run straight into flipping hoplites. Good work, guys. Good work. They're already broken. Their leader's broken. This is gorgeous. These guys haven't even thrown all their javelins yet. The Peltas... No, don't pursue. Your job isn't to pursue. That's not what your job is, alright? You guys get back over here, please. And then, yeah, they're taking a bit of damage because they're being pelted by Peltasts. But as a result, these guys are going to break almost immediately. I'm actually going to have my general wipe up these lads. I'm going to have him move around the outside. Actually, I feel like we can actually have the Thracians do this. They don't know what they want to do. The archers just firing down. We've got a bunch of light lancers here. Let's send the Thracians, if we can, pick off the light lancers. No, never mind. I'm just going to have my heavy Thracians move around the back here. I'm going to send my general to take out these lads if he can. General, if they want to engage, then let them. But now, as a result, these guys are already wavering because their general's already fleeing. They don't even know if they want to be in a hoplite. Thracians in the rear, broken. My general chases off the light lancers, goes up to silver chevron experience, and that army has basically collapsed from going on top of the hill. Go in the back of them. Everything's going to break momentarily. And now just the general can basically head around the back and then go into the rear of whatever's still standing. Go. And then into the back of them. They're breaking too. Into the back of up here. And every single phalanx pikeman breaks long before anything good actually comes of it. Nice. Now, before we go any further, the archers need to stop firing for a second, because I don't actually want them to fire while I'm pursuing with my cavalry. So you guys just stop firing for a second. I think you might be firing into each other, by the way. Some of you may be firing into the others. That's fine. So we've chased those guys off. I want you guys to come back over here, because you are part of my main line, please. So hurry up, because we've still got to get the heavy cavalry of the faction is dead. And apparently, not everything is actually done yet, so just keep going on here. Oh, the flipping ballista's still firing. Marvellous. You guys go over here, take out those guys. Yeah, there's one unit that decided it wants to reform. Their light lancers want another go. I'm not sure they actually do, but never mind. Guys, I said stop firing. Also, especially don't fire on your own faction leader. The archers can now go straight back to fire at will. Anything they want to fire on, they're more than welcome to do so. The general's now going to be down here at the side, ready to do a flanking maneuver. The archers are now firing down the hill at the remaining phalanxmen. The ballistas are back to attacking. You guys are going to now take... Oh, look at that. The flipping benefit to power of being on top of the hill. They're just melting. Absolutely flipping melting. Now, before we actually go too much further with those guys, yeah, chase those guys off. But now, anyone who happens to be in range of the general's bodyguard, I would like you to focus on him, if you'd be so kind. Just, yeah, keep firing down on those guys. There's more peltas coming in, apparently. There's the flipping... Oh, yeah, the ballista, by the way. The ballista can totally take out... Oh, yes. Oh, not quite. Not quite ready. Oh, but that general's bodyguard is... No, I don't need the information, please. Just wait for 1 second, because very soon indeed, the ballista is going to be ready to take some pot shots at the heavy cavalry. And he will tear them apart, by the way. But my archers, I'd like them to focus on... No, not the... No, there we are, the general's bodyguard. Focus on the general's bodyguard, please. I'm willing to take a few casualties. Do that. Oh, no, he's running up the hill. Running up the hill. That's all absolutely fine, by the way, if you want to do that. And then he stopped. And this is going to do a bunch of good damage to him. Right. Stop for a second. The general's going to run... He's going to run partly into prepared mercenary hoplites. This unit over here has basically no strength. I think my own general can just go around the side and just start routing them, to be honest. These light lancers are going to do nothing. Just, let's see what he can do. He might back off. I don't know whether he actually wants to do this or not, because you're charging up the hill is a really slow charge. So as a result, the hoplites are going to straight away start murdering these guys. I'm just going to send my general to support. Those guys are already wavering. As soon as my guys get involved, then they will break immediately, because, yeah, 40, broken, done. Next up, so they're going to start breaking really fast now. That's alright. Just get my general nice and free, and then my general closes the trap. No, you're not going anywhere. Good luck going anywhere, thank you. I think we'll actually find you are going to be taking a lot of damage. The Greek king is fleeing. Everything is fleeing. Now, very important. General's bodyguards are heavy cavalry. Remember that cavalry I kept back? I did it for a reason. Because light cavalry, even crappy, tiny, damaged light cavalry, can chase down heavy cavalry that's fleeing, and is guaranteed to win that fight. So I would say, rather than sending my own general over there, and by the way, no, continue this battle, because we can ride down both these generals right now. Hold off firing the missiles, and in fact, actually, I'm going to force that by telling you to move, because that means that interrupts any firing volley that's currently happening, including you, please, thank you. Now, what's going to happen is my general's just going to ride down whatever is left of that, and by the way, you guys off too, please, thank you. So my general rides down the flipping infantry, because he can do that as heavy cavalry, and my equites are, and should be able to, because they're both fresh, whereas these general units are, yeah, they're winded and they're heavy cavalry. So as a result, my equites should be able to ride down both of their leaders before they make it back to the city, making my job even flipping easier. That was actually easier than taking out the city as it is, so this is all perfect as it turns out. In fact, I might just be gifted Thessalonica. Though actually, now I think about it, hang on a minute, I might want to let one of their generals escape, because then I can actually decide which units do and don't. And when I say let generals escape, I think they're about to escape anyway. Sadly, they didn't actually have that far to come. So even though you can see I'm clearing the distance, every flipping second I'm clearing the distance, sadly I think both of them are actually going to get away, which is a shame. It's a close run thing, but they both get out of there. Terrible shame there. Now, because two generals actually both got away, as a result, I believe the city can't just fall to me by default, because the game can't just, like, by default kill a general. Like, worst case scenario, there's now nothing in that city but the generals. And by the way, oh yes. Oh yes. Oh yes. All these battles, I've been saying, well, I'm right by a mountain, so I bet there'll be a good hill for us to hide on, and there never was. Now, finally, you get to see what happens when an enemy tries to advance up a hill. This happens, and it's a thing of sexy, sexy beauty.
And this day is clearly our victory!
For once, Mr. Narrator Man, I agree with you. That was a beautiful little hold on top of a hill. Marvellous. Oh, 1,581 kills to 58 and 61. Now that's more like it. We're ending this war with Macedon in style, and indeed we have not taken the city by default, which is exactly what I wanted. The Thracians, who I paid money to attack the flipping Macedonians, have not done it, by the way. Bastards. And an enemy army has indeed routed. Perfect. Now, you, by the way, might have gone on to, like, Grand Conqueror by now. Oh, you're up to Great Vanquisher. Marvellous. So we should be getting more popular with the people. So what's actually left in Thessalonica at this point? It is literally nothing but cavalry. Nothing but cavalry. Which is great, because I've now got siege equipment to take the walls, and they've got literally nothing that can actually hold the walls. Because cavalry, of course, can't be on top of the walls. That would be silly. Over in Middle East, by the way, let's just keep things going on here. That is an Egyptian diplomat. That's a guy I want to speak to. Let's just move up towards him for a second. Make sure we keep an eye on him. Because I would like to know what's going on in his part of the world. Because the Egyptians are terrifying, basically. They've got really good phalanxes, they've got really good heavy infantry, they've got chariots, they've got decent cavalry, they've got really good quality archers. Basically, they've got, like, really solid troops everywhere. They don't really have a weakness, to be honest. They've got a fantastically varied and flexible army that can do just about anything. They're just a great fun faction to play as well. Egypt's a fun campaign. Now, let's just quickly pull all those generals out of their cities, like we were saying before. And while I'm doing that, note that Macedonia is actually a town now. So Macedonia right now is making plus 342. If I build a port, however, that jumps up by almost 1,000 a turn immediately. Because Macedonia is the best thing. Macedonia is a thing of beauty. They don't even have a market. They've just got a crappy little trader. But Macedonia makes a lot of damn money. Also, they've got a shrine to Athena. Well, we're getting rid of that, thank you. We will be having a beautiful shrine to Mercury here soon enough. And Batavium, while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to build an academy there to see if we can turn this guy into a decent chap before he becomes an utter idiot. And in worst case scenario, we hopefully might get a few children out of him, which would be nice. Spurious Scapula, you head on your way. We know where you're going. You're going down here to murder these guys and then going to join the Middle Eastern campaigns. So technically we haven't begun yet, but spoiler alert, there's going to be Middle Eastern campaigns. So finally, after the Macedonians have thrown literally everything they have at defending this place, it's time to just go in and take flipping Thessalonica. Yeah, this time, guys, I'm not sure you're going to do so hot. So, one decent unit of Astarte can approach from this sort of angle. That'll take us to the gate, and life will be good. So those guys just head in here. This is the first time we've actually seen a siege tower going. So basically, siege towers trundle up to the walls. As soon as they're in place, these guys will just start climbing the ladders. They'll take a little bit of... They'll take a few knocks. Like, if we're really lucky, it might catch fire. And some of these guys might now take, like, a few arrows. But very quickly, they will nip inside here. Quick as you like, guys. The guys at the back are actually taking fire. So in you go. They start climbing the ladders. they end up here. And the advantage to this over ladders is ladders, like, you just kind of pop up as you come. But the advantage here is, like, they're just going to, like, hang out up here. So as a result, like, a decent number of lads are going to, like, pop onto the wall simultaneously. So as a result, like, the guys who go up first aren't pretty much immediately slaughtered, purely because they've basically got nothing they can actually do. There's no way they can actually survive because they'll just be surrounded. Whereas now, of course, they can actually enter quite nicely. So over here, we just want to very quickly, pretty much, go and take this over here. There's nothing else on the walls, so there's nothing that can actually oppose us. All I need to do now is open up... Oh, yeah, I think they've actually lost one of their guys immediately. One of the... Oh, yes. Basically, one of the only units that these guys had, they've immediately lost. Marvellous. So all I need to do now is basically send these guys around here, which just opens up the path for us to get through the city. Because if you're approaching from the south, it's actually really easy to maneuver through a level 4 city if it's kind of the Greek or the Roman layout. Because literally, you go in through the gate here, you follow this path around here, you go around here, and then basically you follow this street up, and that's the plaza. And that's literally it. So it's very, very simple to do. The alternative approach is to go up any of these other streets, and then basically that will lead you up to where the temple is, because this is where the temple was. The temple's supposed to be here. They just haven't built a temple here. I don't know why. And then you can approach from this angle. So if you want to surround, you can come from this angle. The nice thing about a level 4 city from defensive purposes is, like, the end plaza only has 2 approach points, and neither of them are open. So you've got one narrow street here, one narrow street here, and that's literally it. So if you want to hold out here and just kind of hold those 2 choke points, you can really, really easily. It's such an easy thing to do, which is fantastic. So, and like level 5 cities are actually a lot harder to defend because they're a lot more open. Like the central plaza has a lot more approach points and it's just a bit wider in general. So like in some ways, like level 4 cities are the easiest cities in the game to defend because you can just draw up on the plaza and you can do marvellous acts of heroism like that. Anyway, all I need to do now really is just kill these guys. What's actually left? It's the 2 generals and then the 1 unit of light lancers. So some basic Hastati and some hoplites and some archers together will do the job very, very nicely indeed with minimal losses. Great. If you want to, by the way, you can use your ballista to burn the city down. There's nothing to stop you literally putting your ballista into flamey bolt mode and then targeting any building you wish, even buildings with no strategic importance. If you just, like, you know, decide you don't like the look of this particular house right here, you can just bring your ballista up to it and set it on fire. It's damage you need to repair later because it'll just add to the cost of repairing the city. But, like, if you just feel like burning the city down, you're more than welcome to do so, which is marvellous. How many games do you say, you know what, you can just burn down the whole city, even if it has no tactical advantage whatsoever, just because you feel like it, because you're a monster? Well, Rome Total War does, because Rome Total War is the best game. Now, you see, I've run into an example of my problem right here, which is if I want to use archers to bait these guys off the plaza, how do I do it? Because my basic archers aren't actually in range right now, and are actually quite significantly out of range. I don't really see much of a way to get them, like, into range, other than by actually exposing them onto the plaza itself. Like, if I had long-range archers, it would be easier, of course, but I don't actually have any Cretans with me at this exact moment in time. Okay, 1 more unit of Hastati who have accidentally just exposed themselves. So, possibly they're just going to do the job actually luring these guys forward anyway. I'm just going to put these guys into fire-at-will mode, just in case. Guys, how you feeling about the fact my Hastati accidentally just veered onto your plaza? Feeling good? Yeah, I think you're feeling fine. Beautiful. Right, maybe I just need to advance just a little bit further forward here. Yeah, sadly this is going to be a little bit of a slugging match just to finish these guys off. Basically, I'm going to put these Hastati onto the plaza purely to drive the general's bodyguard into the range of the archers. They should respond to something coming onto their plaza. Yep, here we are. Well, something is anyway. Right, you guys are fine, you guys are fine. And in come the light lancers, that's fine, they'll take a bit of damage. The archers will now basically murder everyone, including my own Hastati. The general bodyguard aren't sure whether they really want to get involved in this or not. You guys, sorry, you've kind of just been sacrificed, by the way. So, everyone just basically... Archers just keep firing into them. Archers just keep firing into these horses. They've broken. That's fine for me. And when I say that's fine for me, because you guys are now going to run basically into, yep, straight into some lovely hoplites. I bet you're going to run into the side of the hoplites, but I'd say that's fine because you're probably going to back off in a second. The archers are still getting plenty of good shots in. I probably shouldn't have actually brought the mercenary hoplites along, to be honest. This is a bit of a waste, but never mind. No, guys, I want you to keep firing. Guys, keep firing. I know technically you're going to be shooting your own guys, but it's fine. I'm totally cool with you doing that, please. So just keep on all of those lovely arrows. And in a moment, probably... Oh, the hoplites have already broken. That's a shame. Never mind. That's a waste, actually. I should have just done it with the Hastati. But instead, I'd say that's done a huge amount of damage to some lovely Greek leaders. And including now, some of the others have now decided they're going to run straight into Hastati. They'll get themselves cut down. I think there's actually, yep, there is one leader in there. Who wants the honours? Who wants the honours of stabbing that guy in the face? Down to, what's that, 3? Come on, guys. Come on, just a couple left. Stab them. Oh, come on, you bastards. Oh, they fled. Cheating git. Right, go, 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 go. Oh, no. Now we've run onto the plaza. Not really a good idea, but fine, whatever. Okay, nothing left aside from the Greek king and just a handful of his bodyguards remaining. That is actually the Greek king. Well, technically the Macedonian king. But it is an Hellenic king, so I think we know how they get killed in the end, don't we? Smithers, release the hounds! Oh, the Greek king is interestingly making a run for it. He's leaving the plaza. He's trying to get away from the plaza, but the dogs will not be denied. The dogs will take you down. Another horse goes down to 9. Oh, no, he's actually done a competent job taking out the dogs. Oh, you know what? Fine. Man to man, then. This guy's starting to annoy me. In goes the faction leader. You killed my dogs, you bastards. Now you die. Faction leader on faction leader, except you brought 1 friend and I brought 100. And we carry the enslavement there for resisting us. Beautiful. Now that should be, as I planned, 2 towns grow immediately. Perfect. And of course that is Termon and Apollonia are now both ready to go straight to the next level. So Apollonia, minor city. Termon, minor city. Absolutely spot on. That's exactly what I wanted to happen. And a message from the Senate. We don't need to blockade the port of Thessalonica because we've taken the whole damn city. Basically, we've been vastly too efficient. What have you done, by the way? Military Tribune. Oh, that's a really good one. +1 command when defending improves the chances of getting elected senatorial officers and 10% bonus to popularity with the Senate. A nice thing for someone to have there. So yeah, Thessalonica. Really, really weird. So, a major city with stone walls, some really advanced military infrastructure, which is fine. Had some... Okay, so it had advanced stables. There were some stables in there somewhere. But it didn't ever have mines. Which is weird, because those are gold mines. That's worth 300 a turn, and you never built a religion. And also, dockyards are available, which are great. That's an extra trade fleet, and of course, as well as an extra trade fleet, you can also train the most advanced of all of the naval units. Well, other than special units that you could get, like the Scipio gets special naval units because they've got the Temple of Neptune. But yeah, there we are. The Quinquereme. It actually looks a lot different. It's nice. Still got eyes on the front though, which is nice. Obviously, we can immediately repair the war dogs and the cavalry and all that sort of stuff. We can't repair the actual infantry yet because right now, yeah, sadly, the city barracks was burnt down at some point. Possibly by me and I've just forgotten. Who knows? But let's also build these guys. How's your growth rate, by the way? Oh, your growth rate's fine, in which case we'll go for Mercury over here, I'd say. Lovely. In fact, actually, I'd say the faction leader, because you're pretty good on the influence, but you're not very good in terms of the... Oh, he's gone up to Conqueror. Nice. 15% penalty with popularity with the Senate, 30% bonus to popularity with the people. We should be starting to get somewhere in that regard at this point. Hang on there. Senate floor. Oh, still not, unfortunately. The Senate still likes us more than the people do. Never mind. But, yeah, unfortunately, he's going to die at some point in the not-too-distant future either. So we need to watch out for that. Because when he does, we're going to lose that Conqueror perk, and thus we're going to become a lot less popular. And also, he's got a bunch of good retinue, so I need to transfer those over to someone useful at some point. So I should probably get you moving south. So you probably head down to Larissa for the time being. You are faction heir, Amulius the Wrathful, that, to be honest, not convinced you're necessarily the best guy to be up next, but whatever. You've not got anything particularly important, and you're a good manager. So you're going to head up to Thessalonica, and you're going to govern that place, because as a decent manager, you'll do good work there. And that, probably for the moment, is going to be the northern extreme of the Empire. I'm not sure I can be bothered with Bylazora just now. I might wait to see if the Thracians want to take it. If the Thracians want to take it, I'll let them have that just for the time being. Ah, and we're starting to see the benefit of this guy, Titus Brutus, hanging around in Athens, where there is, of course, an academy, our first academy. He has got himself an understanding of natural philosophy, +1 management, -1 from squalor. If you keep people in cities where there are academies and stuff like that, they get good. They do properly get good. Understanding of natural philosophy is brilliant. That's a fantastic little perk right there. Now, what's going on over here? This is interesting. A massive Spanish force just rocked up at the Julii door and are actually inside Julii territory. Hang on, I need to remind myself what the state of the Spanish is right now. Here we are, Spain. Enemies of Gaul, allied with the Carthaginians, allied with Britain. Okay, this is worth having a think about. If I could engineer a war with the Spanish, That might be worth doing. I feel like the Spanish, they've actually got a chance. I mean, I think they're just coming to go and basically clear up some more flipping territory off the Gauls. Because they already kicked them out of, over here, what's this place called again? Oh yeah, of course, Numantia. So they've already kicked them out of there, because that starts off in the hands of the Gauls, but the Spanish have already kicked them out. It feels like, yeah, there's some good-sized Spanish armies here. They could be a match for the flipping Julii yet. So, speaking of our faction leader, what's he got on him that's good? Turncoat slave, not so great. Decorated hero, pretty good. Slave trader, alright. Military tribune, important to save that one. Okay, so basically I want to move the military tribune and decorated hero off the faction leader to someone else. Who is a good candidate? Cornelius Brutus. You are... Unfortunately, oh, he's become touched by the gods, which is the next step up from falling sickness. This man has a destiny that is marked by the favour of the gods. Greatness will be his in great success or great failure. Yep, and probably great failure, to be honest. Good, good, good. So, this guy, and he's feeling poorly as well. Beautiful. We do, however, have this guy over here, this kid, who's 31. He's bloody, which we need to watch, but for now, it's a good thing. If we send this guy over towards the Middle Eastern campaigns, together with Spurious Scapula, the two of them over time could become really, really damn good leaders. So probably the best thing I can do is send him for... Yeah, just send him for one turn over to join up with our faction leader. And now we simply say, decorated hero moves down, and military tribune moves down. That's all we need to do. Slave trader is okay. The problem is, I think once you've actually got, like, people on you, it's hard to get rid of them. So, Priest of Mars. Do I want to bother with the Priest of Mars? And he's already got a slave trader on him. He's got a pretty good section. I'm not sure what it caps. I think it caps at 8. And I can't give a slave trader back to the faction because we've already flipping got one. You've already got I might give you the Priest of... No, the Priest of Mars is... It's okay. Like, I think it's the worst of the priests you can have from my 3 kind of religious choices, but it's alright. And this guy's pretty good as well, so chance of casualties recovering, that's decent. Yeah, you know what? You, in time, could become competent. So now we'll just move you, together with a small escort, just in case, back down towards Athens. You couldn't do that in future Total Wars, by the way. In Medieval 2, you are apparently allowed to move around, like, religious artifacts. Like, objects can be passed from person to person, but people cannot be. Which, in all fairness, does make a lot more sense. Need to keep an eye on the Scipio, by the way. They seem to have got a bit stuck. They've got some ships floating around, but they don't seem to be looking like they want to imminently invade Carthage. Oh! I say that as literally on screen they are, like, attacking Carthage. Okay, I need to get over there in a... Oh, I'm not going to be able to stop them getting Thapsus. Right, there's a big Carthaginian army right here, which, if they've got any sense, they'll be able to use to relieve Thapsus. So that's fine, but I need to basically get a decent quality fleet over here, ready to move my Equites around. Oh, get out of my way, you bastard. God, out, chew! Okay, what's Carthage and the Greeks? What have they actually got to see here? Nothing too major. Weirdly, 2 diplomats on 1 ship. Fine, don't ask questions. Probably the best thing I can do now is also move you back inside there. I'm going to train up a trireme, another trireme, and we're just going to have a double trireme floating around here, ready to move our Equites over to Carthage itself if I need to watch the Scipii throw. But yeah, like right now they are... I think they just started doing that this turn because they don't have any siege equipment. This force should be able to relieve the area, albeit they'd do a better job if anyone had ever bothered making roads in Thapsus. Well bloody done, Carthage. Right, I think that's all we've got this turn, though. I need to keep an eye on those Spanish and also the Julii and what the hell you guys are planning to do next. Also, actually, if I go here, I can actually block in this army. Oh, can I? I thought I could. Hang on, that should have blocked in that army, shouldn't it? That's odd. I would have felt like I should be able to block off the path. Maybe it's too wide in all places and just can't quite clearly see it. Never mind. Hopefully, the Spanish attack the Julii next turn. That'd be great. Oh yeah, just move my spy over. There's even flipping more Spanish over here. Like the Spanish. The Spanish are interesting, by the way. The Spanish are a barbarian faction, but like their troops are quite similar to the Carthaginian. So they sit kind of uneasily between the Carthaginian style of warfare and the barbarian style. But they've got some good units from both styles. So actually the Spanish army can be quite effective. Now, House of the Julii doesn't like it's doing anything desperately urgently. Anything major. Oh, hello. That was a very big settlement. Take by Lazora. You will be ordered with 2 of the best units you can recruit. That probably means Triarii. which is fine. If you want to give me Triaria, that's okay. Faction elements, nothing major. We've immediately married the guy who we brought into the family through bribery, who used to be just a filthy rebel. Another one of our diplomats is getting decent. Good, foreign dignitary and a linguist. Beautiful. He's just, oh, that's the guy who's just chilling out up here doing nothing. We should probably move him somewhere useful. See if we can find that bloody Parthian. Oh, we found an Egyptian, but we can't speak to him this turn. That's a shame. We finally found an Egyptian when we actually finally got ourselves... No, where did he go? There he is. Okay, speak to the Egyptian. It's very important. We have trade rights with the Egyptians. Yep, fine. Now map information, because these guys will know everything. Oh, yeah. We now know how big the Egyptian Empire is. And the answer is, it's very big and also very, very wealthy. Okay, this is interesting. And also we know, of course, Parthia over here, but don't appear to have made much in the way of progress. And it looks like, I think I just saw the slightest slither of silver on the map. Now that's blue, but it looks to me like, yeah, the Armenians hold this area. So I don't really know what's actually left for the Seleucids. Hopefully they still own something. Like, I think it would have been, like, even if you don't destroy someone, like, if a faction actually dies for good, the game does actually tell you. So I assume, the Greek citizens in Egypt have finally managed to make peace. As someone actually pointed out in the comments, which is probably right, by the way, probably the Greek citizens in Egypt never actually really kind of formally started a war properly. It's much more likely that they got dragged into war with each other through a chain of alliances more than anything else. So that's interesting. Right, so... They want me to take Bylazora, which is fine. Actually, that would make my kind of empire, like, nice and well-rounded, so I'm fine with that. But before we do that, we really, really need to retrain some troops, because I've got some really badly damaged troops here, alright? And I wouldn't mind having some proper paved roads in Thessalonica either, because apparently you guys were a bit lax on that front. Beautiful. Right, time to start figuring out what our next big move is here. Actually, first, Julii. I feel like these guys, there's going to be tension here, but it hasn't actually exploded into violence just yet. Carthaginians besieging Carolis. You guys... What? Okay. There's two massive Carthaginian armies, and they've decided they cannot be bothered to go and relieve Thapsus. Beautiful. I think the Scipii are going to take Thapsus just because the Carthaginians can't be bothered to defend it. Like, if that had happened in Greece, that would not have happened. They would have gone to relieve Thapsus, damn it. I need to get my ships over there, like, flipping now. This is a priority at this point. I need to get over there. There's a... Wait, what? How do I have two ships there already? Apparently I just already had a trireme floating around somewhere because I've got 3 triremes here. Well, that's fine. That means that thing will be nice and tough. So I need to get, if I can, yeah, I need to get a unit of cavalry over to keep an eye on this, because now they've also sent a massive army over here with, the faction leader himself is going to go and take out Carthage, I'm guessing. Now, a full stack Roman army will struggle against a city with stone walls. Absolutely they will. So, before we let the Scipii steamroll the Carthaginians too much, I need to go and keep an eye on this. And better news, it does indeed feel like the forces of Pontus failed to take out Halicarnassus, which is great, because it feels like there hasn't been any damage done to the palisade. Normally there'd have been damage done to the palisade. Now, just in case that happened, I trained up a unit of ballista over here in Rhodes, so I can send the world's most boring man, who's not only the world's most boring man, he's also a useless assessor. So his only personality trait is he's not good at collecting taxes. Marvellous. Regardless, he is a vanquisher, he might still have a role to play, the world's most boring Roman can still do something to help out the Empire. Still, leaving just a small force to garrison Rhodes, because it should be pretty safe. The only people who are really going to go for it at this point are, well, unless of course the forces of Pontus or actually Egypt itself decide to launch a naval invasion, should be pretty safe. So Rhodes, I'd say we can basically just march out of. We'll just leave a very small force here, just a handful of guys. We'll take the... I want to take all the Cretan archers, to be honest. I don't want to leave any of them behind. In fact, I want to kind of take all of this. You know what? We'll take all of these except for 1 unit of Hastati. Alright, that's what we're taking. Sorry, Rhodes. You're just going to have to make do, like, without. Sorry about this. And then down to... that may have been a little bit unfair of me. Okay, fine. You know what? We'll drop off the army here. We'll bring some people back. We're going to bring some back, alright? Bring those guys here. Now, bring the... Oh, I can't bring anyone back. Right. This is going to go badly. Unfortunately, there's about to be some rioting in Rhodes, which is unfortunate, but there's not much I can do about it. Unless there's anything I can... No, there's nothing I can do, because I can't, like, throw extra games as a temporary thing. Sorry, I took too many people out of Rhodes. Well, actually, unless I... No, wait. Yes, I can. All I need to do, and by the way, there might be some new mercenaries here. No, just mercenary peltas, nothing major. If I just take Halicarnassus right now, which will give me another Wonder of the Ancient World, this time any building that takes 5 or more turns to complete goes down 20%, so basically saving me a turn on the most advanced buildings, which I'm just starting to get to now, so isn't that bloody convenient. If I take the city, I can move people straight back out again, and I can send them back over to Rhodes, and then everything will be fine. And thanks to the ballista and the fact that this is crappy little basic wooden palisade, I can knock that down very, very easily indeed. Now, I'm glad I've managed to get Halicarnassus, by the way, because it's a nice little, just like, little foothold to have actually here in Turkey. And over there that'll be the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus over there, I'm sure. Oh, wait, no, it won't. That is the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus. That, therefore, up here will be the Turkish coast. And that over there is the Temple of Artemis at Ephesus, which is another wonder of the ancient world, which is nice. It doesn't actually exist as a temple in the city, by the way. It's just like a temple that exists like on the map separately. You can still have a separate temple. There's nothing to do with that. And there's Rhodes over there, where we just came from, because we just came on our boats, and our boats are right there as well. So you can literally see the boats that brought us from Rhodes and the Colossus at Rhodes, and this game is the best game. Now, let's just bring our guys forward a little bit here. So, open this up, and what am I taking on here? I've got myself, because I actually forgot to check before I began this fight. We've got some actual proper hoplites. We've got Cretan archers, that's a concern. We've got militia hoplites, we've got peltas, that's not so bad. More hoplites, and then over here, and by the way, it is a shrine to Hermes. That is the Greek equivalent of Mercury, which means I might be able to upgrade that straight away into the next Mercury thing. That's the Rhodian slingers, fine. They're bad, but not so bad. And then we've got more hoplites. So not nothing. This is going to be a little bit of an interesting fight at least, but we can tear down these gates pretty fast and easy. Gate goes down, and incidentally, we also happen to hit with a spare bolt something else. We just happen to hit the things over there. When it's this many people, however, I'm going to make myself a few holes in the wall quickly, just so I can approach from multiple angles. In particular, if those Cretan archers are willing to hold still, I might just flipping send some cavalry over to just murder them, because I'd rather have them out of the way. But basic wooden palisades just fall apart in the face of a basic ballista, so this one basic ballista unit will be able to do a huge amount of good damage. So we'll take these guys down too. Lovely. And then in a minute, what I'll do is I'll actually reposition my ballista to take out... Yeah, as soon as those guys... No, yeah, you guys hold there. Hold there, Cretan archers, alright? Oh, fine. They've finally figured out what's going on here. That's alright. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to send a couple of units of cavalry straight over to here. And then actually bring the game back to normal. Oh, they just got nailed by... I want you to be running. Gallop. Gallop, you stupid bastards. Gallop. Right, get in there through the wall. And then up to the wall yourself, please. And then through there. Now, we'll probably take a little bit more damage, but I'm willing to accept casualties in order to basically just to get these Cretan archers out of the way. Because while they're fighting me with, like, you know, their knives, they can't actually fight me with their bows. So I'm willing to just basically charge some flipping cavalry in here. They will be, well, it's saying they're eager and then steady, which I don't believe for a second, but alright. It's worth it to me to sacrifice some horse here, because I can retrain these horses later, purely for the sake of just getting these guys. Oh, they're already wavering. Good. Wavering. Break, you stupid... There we are, they're broken. Right, now I just need to... No, not into the phalanxes. Not into the phalanxes. This way, please. No, where are you going? Why are you walking into the hoplites? Not into the hoplites, alright? This way. This... I think one of them's broken already. No. Get out of the hoplites. No, it broke. Damn it. Ah, darn it. We've basically broken the Cretan archers and we've killed most of them. I'm willing to accept that, quite frankly, because that means now I can bring my ballista right up front, because now there's nothing with the range to challenge it, which is fine. And these guys are also stupid enough to be in range of one of the towers. Beautiful. Because now I can shoot my ballista straight through the front door and actually knacker these hoplites as well, which is great. The Rhodian slingers appear to be in flipping range of my bloody ballista, which is amazing. That's just the range of the bloody Rhodians. They're ridiculous. Right, I'm sending my own general in. The world's most boring man can go in over here. He should be able to, with his heavy cavalry, just kind of do a pretty good job just smashing into these guys. Again, I'm willing to sacrifice a fair amount of... The Cretan archers are running out of the town. Okay, in we go, guys. In. And now we just hit these guys. Lovely. We'll take a little bit of damage, mind, but we'll do a fair amount in return too. Now, the Cretan archers are, yeah, weirdly just hanging out there. They're trying to retreat. Probably the best thing I can do. Steady. We've lost a few men, which isn't great, but probably, yeah, the best thing I can do at this point is down to shaken. Probably the best thing I can do is actually back off and then charge them again. So just get around the corner. In fact, actually, I've still got this other cavalry here. Why am I not using that? I don't know why I'm not using that, to be honest. Right, you guys, get around the corner. I've just got some spare cavalry floating around here, by the way. Screw you lot. They've decided to pursue. Slingers, pursuing cavalry. Terrible idea in general. Right, you guys, pin them. Now we're just going to hit them in the side as well. They will break momentarily because there will be 2 units of flipping cavalry on them. And that will be the Rhodian slingers and the Cretan archers dealt with. That's the 2 most dangerous bits of indirect fire on the field. Job done. And this time there's no hoplite nearby, like, immediately. So I should just be able to just basically wipe these guys out while they're trying to retreat. In fact, actually, while my general's riding those guys down, the Cretan archers have left themselves a little bit exposed at the front door here. So I'm just going to send my equites to go and finish them off too. My general finishes off the last of the Rhodian slingers, heads back into the streets. My equites heads back over to the front meanwhile and slams into the flipping Cretans. Wipes them out. What's left here? Those are just basic peltas. Nothing major there. Let's just make sure we finish off all of the Cretans here. That'd be nice to do. The peltas are trying to reinforce, which kind of works for me, because now I can, if they want to do that, yeah, this really works for me, because now I'm going to have my general trap them. So just finish off the Cretans. Yep, finish off them. And now send my general around here. My general is going to slam into the back of the peltas right over here. And now, in. Now we just close the trap on the peltas, so we're going to be hit from 2 angles at once. There's a couple of, there's militia hoplites there, so watch out for them. Yeah, really watch out for them. Really watch out for them. But as soon as these guys are hit, yep, they break immediately from being approached from both sides. Keep the general out of the way of the hoplites. Actually, the hoplites are backing off anyway. In which case, job done. Now, the peltas taken care of. This is what cavalry can do. Just carefully position a couple of units of cavalry, use the city streets intelligently, and you can do a lot of damage with just basic cavalry. Now, while I get my cavalry out there, I believe that now leaves nothing but phalanxes. I think now it's nothing but phalanxes. And if it is indeed nothing but phalanxes, that really rather works for me, because now that means my own Cretan archers can clean up very, very nicely indeed. Speaking of which, let's move those lovely guys in. And here come my Cretan archers right at the front door. And they can just start picking apart these militia hoplites. As soon as they realise they're under fire, they're going to run. That's actually going to work against them, because that means I'll just be able to start shooting them in the back. Lovely. Now, with the first unit just completely melted there, now we just need to slowly start moving these guys forward. Okay, the trap is set. We have got over here 1 unit of Cretan archers in range of hitting these militia hoplites. Militia hoplites move towards the arrows, where there are Hastati facing here, and more Hastati waiting here as well. And once they start marching down the street, my cavalry are ready to slam in and shut the door to make sure they can't retreat. In which case, all we need to do now is set these guys to fire at will, and they will hit these militia hoplites in the rear in just a moment. Let's just make sure we see that happening. So over there with the delete key that I absolutely love. And preparing to fire. And in comes the volley. And hits those guys. Or rather, hits where they were standing. That wasn't the best volley really, lads, was it? Meanwhile, the guys behind them were also set to fire at will. So these guys are actually going to be advancing into, like, multiple bits of fire before we even get anywhere close to actually engaging with them. That's very, very nice indeed. Oh, perfect. In fact, arguably, they might even break before they even make it to the flipping Hastati. Though apparently this is the general's unit, so that's good. So probably at that point, in that case, you guys stop firing for a second. I don't want you to hit your friends in the back. I don't mind if they start to get hit in the back, mind. And in a moment, you guys, well, they're already wavering. And the peeler too. Honestly, this is fine. Yep, this is alright. In which case, the unit that is over here can now just head in and mop those guys up. And final unit of hoplites, same treatment please. The first of you can just fire on these guys. That will lead them straight into the meat grinder. Marvellous. And this time, let's get the cavalry nice and behind these guys ahead of time. Ready to move in. Many, many arrows coming in as well. Apparently, you're out of peeler. That's fine. So now just move behind them. They'll realise they're surrounded momentarily, and they will panic accordingly. Steady, we say? I don't believe you're steady. I think you are starting to get very, very nervous indeed. Taking severe casualties. Screw it. Just slam into the back of them. Slam into the back of them. Slam into the back, and they'll probably break immediately. Shaken, but interestingly, no. I don't know how you're really still hanging on, but you apparently are. Alright. Nope, never mind. They broke. Beautiful. And that should be your lot. Yep, I'll take 146 kills, which was mainly just my own cavalry being sacrificed to make sure the Cretan archers couldn't do much, much worse things. I think that's a worthy sacrifice. Now, the problem is rebels don't upgrade their town, so this town's probably going to have a really, really high population relative to its size. Yes, so if I sacrifice 2,000 to being in the general population, yeah, I'll do that. And then hopefully the population stays just over 2,000. Spot on. So repair the wall and build this straight up to a governor's villa. This will now be a good, honest Roman settlement immediately. And even better than that, if I just step outside very quickly. Hang on, there must be some... Oh yeah, some crappy mercenary peltasts. You guys, good news, you now get to go to Rhodes, where I expect you to do literally nothing of any interest. Marvellous. And incidentally, this fleet can also have some repairs, because I think it could use it. Very good indeed. Though, admittedly, having some basic archers in this town would not be the worst thing in the world either. Now, you step inside there for a second. This place will be Roman very shortly indeed. You are... Ooh! You're an outstanding speaker! Oh my goodness, the worst man in the world is slowly, slowly getting better. Is this not interesting? And there we are, that's our first foothold in Turkey. Interesting, it's a very long one. The area, Lycia, goes right up to here, which is kind of nice, because it means, like, if you decide you want to send, like, a useless general who doesn't do anything else, I could literally set up watchtowers, like, here, 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 and I might well do that with this guy, to be honest. But also, equally importantly, the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus. Beautiful. Doesn't really do much most of the time, because, you know, most of the buildings you're building in most cities do not take 5 turns to do, but on a few rare occasions it can be very, very useful indeed. Really sad thing, by the way, if you actually have a battle, like, literally on top of the Mausoleum of Halicarnassus or any of the other wonders, it's not actually in the map, it's never there, it's only ever close by, so you can never actually have a battle which uses an ancient wonder of the world as, like, you know, scenery or a way to kind of block enemies or a thing you can, like, draw up against to provide an extra line of defense or something. Sadly, that just doesn't happen, which I think is a tragic shame, but that's just how it is. In fact, speaking of which, it probably would not be a terrible idea for me to actually send my general just to set up wherever I can. The problem is watchtowers can't be too close by to... Oh, apparently one is allowed to be there. Well, that's nice. Okay, good. That's a good spot for a watchtower, albeit I want to basically reinforce my army a little bit before we push out too much further. But at least we have some good visibility of Sardis and the forces around there. But, yeah, my spy just noticed... The Pontus forces, they have some significant armies, albeit those are terrible armies. Look at that. Attack 5 with a charge bonus of 1. These things do not hit very hard. Though, admittedly, they've got a bit more defense than you expect, but with poor morale and no hitting power, they just struggle. Pontus also has scythed chariots, which are really, really cool, but scythed chariots have a bit of a weak point that we'll get to when it comes up. They're kind of cool. Like, the first time you face them as the Romans, like, they're utterly devastating and terrifying, but once you know the secret, they're not really to be worried about. Still with a foothold in the Middle East, I'd say we're looking very, very good, ladies and gentlemen, and next time, well... Next time, I feel like we kind of need to finish off the Greeks once and for all. They've got their capital here of Pergamum. It's got walls, but to be honest, I feel like we have got strength enough in Greece to throw over there and get ourselves a new foothold. In particular, as Halicarnassus is nice as a starting point, but right now, it's a town. And, like, very soon, it's going to become a large town. Like, we're not going to be training advanced troops here, but Pergamum is, at the bare minimum, it's a minor city. It might actually be bigger than that. It might actually be a very large city. So we will have to see about that. That will be a very good place to properly have a little kind of base of operations before we begin operations proper against Pontus. Though, admittedly, we will have to make a decision whether at some point Thrace might actually be the better targets. Because you guys have got... Where's your big... Yeah, you had a big army right here. Big army right here. Thracians. Potentially a little bit worrying. They're actually a little bit too strong for how close they are to me, to be honest. I'm slightly concerned about those guys, and I wouldn't mind having Byzantium for myself or any of these other cities, to be honest. It might actually be kind of nice to have some of these for me. Not least as, yeah, there's rivers here. Rivers that would make nice natural boundaries that I could just fortify the rivers and then basically be safe against the Thracians forever. Yeah, we'll have to think about that. Logical next place to strike, either Thrace or Pontus. I'm not quite sure. We shall see. But in the meantime, ladies and gentlemen, I've been John. This has been many a true nut, and this has been Rome Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye. Oh, Matt, he set me on fire. Oh, the fire's quite pretty, but I am on fire. Oh, I found a dog. Hello, you dog meat.
Oh,
You're
shit.
going to be my dog
I found
now.
an enemy. I'm being shot. John, help me.
No, I'm making friends with this dog. I've not got a shield out.
It just goes inside you.
Your weapon has a scope. LT, and then I can zoom the most pathetic.